I should put it. We're going to not fund the YMCA?
Again, I tell you,
No.
go back and look at the vote.
No, I
At
asked,
the
no,
vote
let's
that
not,
was taken,
let's not
because
get to the vote.
I don't have the power to create a program or start a program as the mayor, to expend $15,000. I don't have that power. So it has to be a vote of the council for that to become reality.
I agree with you. That's one thing that I agree with.
Do you remember voting for the Y to run a $15,000 program for this year, that year right there?
What I do recall, when I did bring the program in for the Martin Luther King Reparations Fund, with all the paperwork, and I did it, and bring that, this council, like you said, the council as a whole voted not to have a program like Martin Luther King Reparations Fund. I do remember that.
Okay, and that was your
at that
love
time.
program.
No,
That was a love program.
no, it was for him, well, we could call it that, I use that now. But when this council voted not to do it, that $15,000 is still left there. And this is when the YMCA came in and did the program again. I don't recall anybody on this council saying that we was not going to fund the YMCA. When I found out and asked about it, someone just got over it. I said, something is missing. I said, where's the program? And the money was supposed to be there. So somebody had to say.
Well, did the YMCA come before the council like they have always done in the past and ask for funding to operate a summer program?
I think so. It was on the agenda there.
Not in this year.
Well, let's ask.
I think it will reflect in the game.
That's just what I was trying to, just good thinking, man. I asked the clerk, would she mind going back and see if this administration said we was not going to fund the top YMCA. Then that will answer that. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Anything else?
Mayor, I think clerk said this is the same budget that we started off with. Nobody's been added, nobody's been removed.
It's the budget that was in the end of the 6 months when we did the revisions at the 6-month period. It's the same figures that we approved the 1st of April, whenever it was. And it had reflected a few changes at that time from the original, but that's what, it's the revised budget, which is the second figure right there, but nothing, no changes about it, just that budget, just to carry it forward.
When we looked at it 6 months in, that's usually when we look at it with how we're doing on projected income, with revenues, and then, move from here, move to there, we adjust this up. But nobody has been physically removed from an appropriation versus this same budget last year. Nobody's been added, and nobody's been given extra weight or removed and reduced in numbers. Right? That should be the charge of the new council coming in.
Okay. And then the next item would be number 2, contract for waste removal services. The way it reads in the contract is 90.
The waste removal contract is a 3-year contract. It automatically renews each 3 years unless the council so chooses to rebid it. You have to make that decision at least 90 days prior to when it would roll over again, which would be September the 30th is the 90 days. So if you determine that you'd like to rebid the garbage service, then we need to make that decision tonight. And what you would do, you would redo the specifications and put it back out to bid. And it would be effective January 1st.
I have a question.
2013.
In that contract, can that company raise their rates?
They can do a cost of living.
Because I think this month, mine was $1 more.
I thought it was usually in January that they might, I don't know, but it does have a cost of, CPI, consumer price index,
Okay.
adjustment once a year that it can fluctuate from that. And that's kind of standard, and for some years, I guess this is, I should have put back to saying the date that this one started, but I know it's rolled over twice, and this is probably ready for the third time, if it's not ready.
And there's nothing to say that the same people will not get it, or you might get a better rate.
It might get worse.
You might get a worse rate.
But if you think that it's time to at least rebid it, this is the time to make the decision. If you don't, then it will roll over.
Yeah.
And it would be for 3 more years, so it would be 3 years before consideration of the
Yeah.
can.
I think there has been some changes with Lynn. Is he still? I think there's been some changes though
I don't know.
within that company. I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
the
certain.
company that we originally did the contract with was Sunflower, something other, and it was bought out by this Advanced Disposal. Yeah, Waste Management is a different corporation, Advanced Disposal.
I haven't had any problems with it. The only problem that I have with them is sometimes during the holidays, you don't know if they're gonna make a day up, and you're not sure, and those cans sit out there. I just wish that they would notify City Hall so that they could put it on the website, or let us know, well, when are they gonna make up that day, or are they gonna make up that day? That's the only issue that I have with the garbage, is just let us know when you're gonna make up the day for a holiday.
Well, they're all, I mean, they all have their difficulties. Linda normally handles all of the complaints that comes in with the company. We've had our difficulties, we've had our good times, we've had to go out and pick it up ourselves. You know, in a lot of cases, of course, Lynn has to deal with them too. But we worked through a lot of kinks, but it's not to say they wouldn't have a contract.
Y'all may know something that I don't know. I don't have any problems with rebidding the contract. Do you get a lot of complaints?
I get a lot, but I tell you, I enjoy working with these people. I mean, I can send an email and they get right back with me, and we take care of it.
That's all.
This group, I think, is better than who we
Yeah.
had previously, because we
Yeah.
had lots of trouble in our neighborhood.
They've got new management, yeah.
We've even, we're
It is
still
better.
stocking some of the
Yes, sir.
containers. We had them to bring containers that we could keep
Mhm.
up here rather than taking 2 weeks for someone to get a new container when the wheels came off or it tore up or whatever, so.
Their service has certainly improved over the last year.
And there's, I mean, you even see them around in the neighborhood picking out, swapping out cans and things, it's like big.
Well, it's been a process, but I think we've made a lot of improvements over there.
I'm just asked what, I don't have a problem. I'll go either way. What, Lynn, and what's your recommendation if you want to make one?
If I'm allowed to make one, I would suggest that we just stay with who we have.
We really got to
We've got a
train
good working relationship with them, they respond to me, they respond to Linda, the mayor. I don't, you know. we know
All
we
you
have-
can ask out of a company is when you have a complaint is to answer you, and if they're answering us, then I don't know what you could ask for.
You know, if we have an event and we need an extra run, you know, they're here. So ball field softball games, we get, you know, full over there, they come. I think they're doing.
Well, it's come a long way. I know that when you get a call that my trash was supposed to be picked up on Tuesday, and here it is Friday, and it's still sitting on the street, we've gone to get it. And Linda, Tiffany, and I have loaded those cans in the back of the truck and hauled it off.
And carpet.
It didn't take it.
Carpet's heavy.
But it's better to do that than keep listening to the complaint.
Can we just ask them when they notify us of their holiday schedule, we know what the holidays are
I think
a
we
year
can.
in advance? And that way we don't have cans sitting out on the street for 2 or 3 days.
That's good.
They do have a website too, Greg. They've got one too, but